right, and welcome to Fast Break Breakfast NBA Podcast. My name is Keith, here once again with my buddy Chuck in the flesh. And John's not here yet.
He's on his way.
He said he's close.
We've been getting play-by-plays, but we've got a time crunch.
John Burr said, I'm going to leave a place that's 10 minutes from your house, 30 minutes before the time I'm supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. And then he says, so it'll be close.
Yeah. We're now 25 minutes past start time. John Burr, he will give you this. He'll come in. He'll give us a very succinct, kind of plausible explanation, and we'll move on. Because
he
at this
will
point,
tell me, Chuck, he will tell me what it's like driving to my house.
Right.
As if I don't drive to my house every single day.
Or all three of us do it weekly.
Yeah, like we haven't done this weekly for 4 years.
I can tell you how long it takes to get to your house during any part of rush hour from any part of Nashville.
I do think there's a chance. I mean, yes, he's terrible with time.
Yes.
And he does not value the time of others.
Very, very
But I do think there's a legitimate...
loosely.
He might have some kind of mental hurdle that he's really bad at knowing which direction to drive.
Oh, I have driven him, and it's mostly out of necessity. He has zero understanding of how Nashville works, shortcuts. I'll drive him home and be like, how did you know about this way? I was like, I live here.
Yeah.
And I drive and pay attention.
Like, I'm certain I could drive to his house faster than he could.
He has no idea where he is at any given time, and that's kind of weird for him.
It is kind of weird. I wanted him to get here because I've been hunting squirrels, Chuck.
What?
But hunting squirrel. This is
For meat?
Not for pleasure.
Okay.
Not for any video game achievement.
Have they invaded your life?
They have. Well, so the perils of home ownership. There's a lot of stuff you got to deal with.
I remember.
And so we had squirrels in the attic.
Yeah.
We have a squirrel making a massive nest in the attic. It's been there for a while. He's a big guy.
Yeah, probably has a couple generations out in different houses now.
I think he has like he's drawn his family tree. It's an actual, he's drawn a family tree in my attic. He's coming through the drywall.
Oh, that's it.
So like the leaves and stuff are in there. So I'm like, all right, we got to take care of this. And this is crazy. So, I call an animal control service. Mm-hmm. Like, let's just take care of this.
Humanely.
I need humanely. I don't want to,
You don't want that on your head.
I debated setting some really big rat traps, like those glue traps.
Right.
Which would have just been cruel. They're cruel and unusual punishment.
They are terrible.
Because they just stick to the squirrel. Mm-hmm. They'll just slow him down.
Right. They'll pull a leg off.
I still might not even be able to catch the squirrel.
Right.
While he has this thing attached to him.
Now you got an injured, angry squirrel.
My best hope for that scenario was he would get stuck trying to get into my house.
Right.
With the big square thing. That's just cruel.
Right.
It's just so I was like, all right, the cruel thing, the humane thing to do is to get an animal control service.
Right.
So the animal control service
Hurry up, John.
Comes in.
Keith's talking about squirrels.
And the animal control guy, he comes over. He's like, oh, pretty straightforward. I'm like, yeah, he's going into my, I don't know if it's called a gable. What's it called? Like where my roof meets together?
Gantry?
Maybe. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what anything in my house is called.
That's cool.
And so it's obvious where this going in, and he's chewed the hole to make it bigger to get in. So the animal control guy's like, oh, yeah, that's pretty straightforward. This will be all right. So he quotes me a price to catch the squirrel, or no, to set traps for 5 days, and then to remove the nest and repair the hole. It's $1,000.
Wow.
And I was like, I told him.
Mm-hmm.
That's
talking about Javon Carter.
yeah, I am.
Welcome, John.
John Burr is here.
As he lives and breathes.
Hi.
Wearing a ball cap.
I'm going to enlighten you guys.
Testament to their big victory last night.
Big Miami Heat victory, which we'll get into in detail. But
sure.
I bought a house when I was 21 years old.
Yes.
And when I was in the military. And everybody told me in 2007 or whatever year, 2004, that was a good idea.
Good idea.
Guess what? When you're 21 years old, what do you have to do on Saturday mornings? Because you work during the week. You have to mow the lawn. So I was just hung over mowing most of the time I owned this house. I didn't save any money because I had to buy mowing equipment, everything it took to fix the home, paint.
Were you one of the extras in The Big Short?
Basically.
Buying a big house in Florida?
No, it was
on no credit.
It was Louisiana. I had a VA loan. I put 3% down.
Yeah.
It was completely.
You don't understand.
I used to be a real adult.
Since you've met Chuck, Chuck's been on a reverse 30-year-old Rumspringa.
Right. I'm like, yeah, it's
Chuck
like
was a fat, happy, like nuclear engineer.
now I'm like,
Then he started hanging out with me.
Now I'm less fat.
You gave it up. But no, so the squirrel situation, I told him like $1,000, that's more than I anticipated.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you know why? Because the so-and-so, he gave me like a agency. Got to check the traps every day. I'm like, I could text you.
Yeah, you could give me a quick instruction.
If you give me a phone number, I can text you when they're there. So anyway, so I'm like, I'm not going to do this. My wife is very upset about it. She's like, just pay for it. I'm like, $1,000? Do you know how long it takes me to earn $1,000?
Also, we can, I don't think we've made $1,000 in 5 years.
No,
not after taxes.
No. So I go to. So
You are correct.
so I go to Home Depot and they got squirrel traps for $20. Well, I'm like, I'm gonna buy a squirrel trap.
Keith, this story has a very tragic end.
I don't know the ending.
I do.
What is it?
I have squirrel traps.
Oh yeah.
And as a result of said varmint traps,
They're varmints.
I have had 3 cats. Now I have 2 cats. You're going to end up with more cats. Because guess what you catch in those traps? Not varmints. Neighborhood cats that don't have homes that become yours.
Well, so
Then they're on your counter 24/7.
So here's what happens. So I put the traps out. Day 1, nothing. Day 2, nothing. Day 3, I got one, but I got the wrong one.
Oh.
So I have one, but
Did you have them marked?
Well, I can tell by looking at it.
Release them
Again, I don't know how much, John, if you made it this far into Red Dead Redemption.
No.
This is
spoiler alert. Fam.
This was not the legendary squirrel. This was just a regular squirrel.
So you have like this
the one
Moby
who
Dick
lives in my
squirrel.
house is the Moby Dick. He's huge.
Keith, everyone needs an arch nemesis, and I'm glad it's no longer
So
me.
I catch a squirrel. So now it's like, what do I do with the squirrel? The humane thing is to drive it to a park somewhere far from my house. Right. However, my wife and I we're both concerned. I'm taking this squirrel away from its family.
Right.
It bothers me.
I get it.
I know it's just a rodent or whatever.
Here it is.
But anyway, so exactly. I cried. An American Tail, I sobbed like very stoic child, very stoic grown up. I didn't cry from the age of 6 until about 26.
I don't believe that you have ever cried.
No. But the age of 6, I watched a trailer for the
Feifel Goes West.
No, I watched a trailer for the Hugh Jackman Les Mis, which I've seen.
Yes,
I watched the trailer today, and it made me cry.
It's weird,
but
man.
Your time behind the keys at these
as we
these
age,
plays has
our
done something to
estrogen
you.
goes up. And it's a
man.
good thing.
You talking about my titties?
There was some middle school play that I kept crying at. Anyway, might have been The Secret Garden or something stupid.
I love
Dear
that
God.
movie. My sisters made me watch it.
So I'm thinking I'm either going to kill this squirrel, even though that's not humane.
Green Gables, Florida.
I can drown it in a bucket. I'm like, yes, whatever. So I do. I take it to the other side of town. I take it to Belmead. I let it out.
Right.
But I know this is not the white whale. This is not the legendary squirrel. So then I reset the trap. This morning, the legendary squirrel.
Easy.
He's just banging the trap around. He's looking. I think he knows how it works. He's like, this ain't catching me. He was
sitting every character from the Burbs.
No, this is what happened.
He was sitting on top of the trap.
He was in a trap in Belmead, and somebody else brought it over here and let him out. He's like, I know this game.
Where do you think he learned all these crimes?
Yeah, some other dad on the other side of
trap
town
for years.
So here's the thing
He just got out the joint.
Here's the thing that I'm going to have to erase if I get in trouble from the podcast. But I do have this knowledge. It is legal to kill a squirrel on your property. It is illegal to take the squirrel from your property.
Really?
Transporting a squirrel, you have to have a permit.
Well, I bet. Yeah, it makes sense.
So, yeah.
Keith can find out the true shooting percentage of Javon Carter's first quarter, first 4 minutes.
Within 5 feet of the basket.
Keith can figure out where and when and how you can kill a squirrel and the legality thereof. But Keith and I, for months, trying to figure out how to periscope over open broadcast system.
Oh yeah.
No, can't do it.
Hey man, we all have our
I hit that.
strengths.
I hit that frequently asked questions thing on Periscope,
Dude.
and it was like, use this software program. I'm like, my computer that cannot Skype and GarageBand at the same time.
I feel like the internet for a while was like this wonderland of do it yourself, and now like the people behind it are like, we need to stop making it so that everyone can do this, so that we can still have jobs. So we're gonna make this kind of hard.
right.
Yeah.
Smart.
and stuff. But anyway, if anyone has any tips for catching the one last squirrel, I still got to fix the hole.
Yeah.
But I don't mind paying it like a contract. I'll do that for a couple $100.
This is when you find out, like, this is how I found out. This is what steel wool is for.
Oh, yeah.
Stick it in holes.
Steel wool, yeah.
Because they don't like to eat
Let's
steel.
Let's do our breakfast.
We can't.
Let's do it.
Did we have breakfast? John,
You got your amulet on.
amulet kind of hidden behind like just a pretty.
Got y'all.
What's up?
It's a pretty.
How do you say that?
Say what?
The name of the guy
You
on
don't-
that?
Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl. Is there a lot of X's and
A Q
X's?
in there, right?
No, but there is like a very strangely placed T and L. No vowel
What's that place
between them.
that sometimes they name a burrito after it, and it's called like Huachacán, but it looks crazy.
Oh.
Oaxaca?
Oaxaca. That's
Yeah.
the word I'm looking
I
for.
can't do that
No
one.
idea how to say. I remember the first time I heard that said, I was like, "Oh, that's that word I've seen."
I got I as far as I can get is ayahuasca.
I love ayahuasca.
But John, you no breakfast?
Oh, I had breakfast.
Oh, what'd you have?
So I've got new BS supplements in my life.
Okay.
Bill Simmons?
So the first, no, if only. I can't.
Okay, we won't.
I can't do it. That we'll get to my best later. My best involves a good old BS, who I'm still thankful for. It's like James Joyce and Ulysses. It's like I'm glad that Ulysses was written, but I can't do that stream of consciousness based stuff anymore. I don't need to read that.
Yeah.
I like its influence, but I don't need to hear the onomatopoeia.
I think you aged past it.
Yeah,
Or something.
So I don't know. I think he's gotten old and he's like me with like the teams I love. Like I don't talk to me about the Nashville Predators. I only know about them, and everything is in relation to them.
Right.
But I have all kinds of weird supplements now because my best friend's wife has become the Avon lady of keto.
Oh, nice.
I knew there was going to be somebody to be able to monetize it. Somebody's
Yeah,
going to
she's
drive
an evil genius.
a green Cadillac. You know, they're going to
She's-
get bought.
She's an evil genius who manipulates us in many ways.
Yeah.
But I'm now probably giving her $120 a month to get keto stuff shipped to my house.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's genius.
You could catch an eighth of a squirrel for that.
Yeah.
yeah, right. And I mean, I have like, and now, so I've backtracked this stuff. All the ingredients of the things I'm drinking in the morning and putting in my coffees or teas or whatever you put, everything goes in a drink, hot or cold. These are repurposed beauty products. I'm not kidding. This is all collagen-based stuff.
Yeah.
These are repurposed beauty products.
Yeah.
I am basically drinking middle-aged skincare
That's amazing.
under the guise
What is it
of,
helping you? Is this like death becomes
I
her?
mean,
Is your liver
people
less
tell me I
wrinkled?
look thinner. I don't know. I have no idea.
Do your kidneys show a
I feel
youthful
better.
glow?
My kidneys,
Yeah.
my urine smells.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's good.
But I mean, so I'm on this like
Mine is the
breakfast drink.
color of peach.
It's very limey, which is kind of lime's not a good flavor in the morning. So
Okay.
I've got to say that my breakfasts are subpar these days.
I am interested. I'll be honest. I'm interested in a supplement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like I see the commercials and they're like, hey, I see the Frank Thomas commercial.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey.
Those Frank Thomas commercials are charged sexually.
Oh, no, they are.
They're like, you looking good.
The only thing I
and
take
I don't even mean that. I just want it for like, you know what? Give me some testosterone. Let's see if I can grow some more muscle, if I can feel a little healthier.
Right.
I'm the right age. It's targeted at me. Zach Lowe's podcast had this incredibly offensive like what's wrong with the men of America?
Zach Lowe's podcast is offensive.
It is. It is jumped the shark with the ads too.
Yeah.
It's like every 10 minutes. But anyway, I'm like, I'm getting old. Doctor, give me some. Maybe I got that low T. Just give me some testosterone.
Know
Just
what
for
you
the
need?
pep. Just for the life pep.
You guys need some lines, man.
I'll bring you some ketone.
Lion's mane?
I'll
You
bring
guys
you some
know?
ketone energy drink that is actually a charcoal face mask.
Are you? Yeah. That's yeah. Do you? You're not taking lion's mane? That's not part of your keto
What's
regimen.
lion's mane?
Lion's mane's a mushroom supplement. It helps with neurological acuity and
I need that.
can push away dementia. Helps with anxiety.
I can't ever remember the name Bob Pettit when I'm doing a Sporkle quiz.
It does help with memory. Yeah, lion's mane's a great
I'm
supplement.
like, it's that guy. He's the
I feel
Hawks.
very
It's
seen
a
right now.
St. Louis
it's a
guy?
neurotropic. It's supposed to help with brain function, and I actually need to get more because I was using it for a while. That's why I'm doing so on pickle these past 2 months.
That's pretty good. Our pickle is coming down
Ooh.
to the final night.
So excited!
You guys want an
Chuck.
update?
Well, so Chuck is a game behind Matt Sullivan, one of our big supporters.
Oh, the biggest
One of the
pickler,
OG
iShop,
Patreons.
OG Ishforp creator.
So,
Who had another kid and can't do any of those
Oh
things
man,
anymore.
he's so busy now, and we love him. He's the best ever.
But I will say,
that's what
so we're more than likely, unless something crazy happens, there's 6 games on Thursday night. You guys have 5 games up on everybody.
Yeah.
So making up that many games is almost impossible.
Yeah, we all have to pretty
But
much.
so either Chuck is going to win or Matt's going to win. And then, of course, for you listeners who aren't involved in our Pickle Pick'em challenge with our Patreon, it starts over again next month. So if you want to sign up for Patreon for just $1, I think just $1, you can join the
Don't quote
Pickle Pick'em challenge. So that'll start again next month. Anyway, I'll say my breakfast.
Get it.
I had just some eggs, plain eggs, some hot sauce.
I
guess it's
prepare
I guess it's is it an omelet?
scramble.
Is it an omelet if nothing's in it?
No, it's like a hard scramble, I guess.
Is that a hard scramble?
Man, I think an omelet is like really basic. Like I don't think there has to be hardly anything in it other than eggs.
I think the
No,
omelet
like, I just-
specifically is how you fold the egg.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just made I whisked the eggs, I put it in the pan, and
think
then I
it's
just folded it
defined-
over to make it look like an omelet.
Yeah, that's an
but
omelet.
it's empty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
fine.
that's
And I
an
put some hot
omelet.
sauce on it.
Did
A
you
little
offer
pepper.
one to another person and say yomelet?
you should.
No.
Okay,
But,
It
so
was-
I,
then it wasn't an omelet.
so I had some eggs,
Right.
plain eggs.
Thank God Chuck's on the show to save us from ourselves. What did you have,
I went to
Maniac?
I went to Publix. My girlfriend's in town, so we got to the airport, picked her up, and then we went to
the grocery store,
To the
right.
grocery store,
Yeah.
right to
Yeah,
Publix.
yeah, all right.
We like to feel domestic. We have this long distance thing, so we like to build in domesticity in our
You like to
behavior.
fake it?
Well, we want to know what it feels like. You don't want to get involved with somebody and have them move across
I
the
do not
country
want to get
for
involved with you.
if you can't go grocery shopping with them.
I do not.
Right? You got to know
want
little
grocery
things.
shopping
We've
with
gone on road trips. We've tested. This is all data driven.
you. I love it.
But yeah,
I didn't do any of that.
So we went. I know you fell right in.
I said, come with me. Take my hand.
We got into
Not in marriage.
we got into Publix. Did the good thing. You guys know about those Publix sub sandwiches?
Oh yeah,
And that's the truth.
so good.
Chicken finger sub.
Got it. No, I got it in Italian. It's as good as it's better than Jersey Mike's. It's better than any.
Oh.
Oh yeah, to me,
Bold
better.
talk.
But to me, better than Jersey Mike's because it has childhood. I used to buy those sandwiches as a kid in the summer,
Publix is a Florida brand.
and then go to the Boys and Girls Club. But yeah, and then the fried chicken. We got a thing of fried chicken, but they changed the packaging, which is a little weird. You know how it used to be the fried chicken box was brown. This is so Southern. The fried chicken box is brown. Now it's black for some reason. It made me uncomfortable. But the chicken's the
Test
same.
marketed. They thought
Yeah,
it
they're
was
just
cooler.
trying to see.
The chicken's
sleeker.
cooler.
They were trying to make our chicken seem whatever.
Is that your girlfriend's rental out there?
Yeah, she ran a.
Car doesn't fit you.
No, it doesn't.
No,
it's like a mini
no, it's-
A-team car.
It's like your car. So Chuck normally drives.
It's like your
this-
car shook a little turd out of its pants.
No, it's like your car went through some kind of weird dimension and came out like the really safe
I believe you're talking about
version.
the Michael Bay Transformers version of his car.
Yeah.
It really is because Chuck drives a very boxy
It's
old
a
Jeep,
97 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
but it's painted
with red and
18
black.
Like
Chuck's
bright
car
red.
literally gets me in trouble because it's so loud that Allie comes running to the door.
Yeah, but now Chuck, the car parked outside my house right
Yeah.
now is like a very lovable, rounded edge, soft SUV.
It's
When
a Jeep
it's
too.
the same colors.
when it
it's the same
transformed, did it go?
Yeah.
Was there any dubstep?
Gold
while you were-
Yeah, drop down. The lift kit disappeared and
When
turned
you
into a
leave, do
gun.
you say "roll out"?
So those were our breakfasts. We're over 18 minutes into the show. Let's do
I was only here for 14. of
our
them.
breakfast in bed apologies. This is our chance to make right what we might have gotten wrong in any previous episode. It is often frequently the first time we talk about basketball. Is there anything anyone needs to apologize for?
I feel like all year long, I haven't really addressed Eric Bledsoe's contributions to the Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay.
I don't like that I have to do this because it feels like the only reason we got so down on Eric Bledsoe was because he kind of stopped trying.
Right.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah, right. But honestly, I mean, he's probably the second best player on the best or second best team.
Right.
And that's kind of, I mean, I do feel like you could argue that Brook Lopez has been as important to the Bucks transformation, but that's a pretty hard argument to make.
It's a hipster
I don't.
argument.
It's a hipster argument to make
I do.
because I think you get.
I mean, it's a take. And it is interesting, and he has contributed. But Bledsoe's finishing numbers, talk more hipster. His rim numbers are
they
insane.
good? Yeah.
He's one of the best rim finishers, and he's tiny. And that, to me, makes him one of the more exciting players to watch because he's just, when he wants to go, he's kind of unstoppable.
What's wild to me about that team is, my favorite player on the team, future Grizzly Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
His shooting numbers are down.
This is good for Grizzlies.
And it's
All-star.
But it's like Malcolm
All-stars
Brogdon,
don't come here.
Eric Bledsoe, their percentages are way up.
Yeah.
Bledsoe's even having Middleton's having a slightly off-season shooting wise. And there's all that talk that made the rounds about Budenholzer explaining to him the value of doing less.
Yeah.
So Bledsoe obviously, could be the second most important guy.
It's so weird that Bledsoe...
He's Bond.
Watching the rise and fall, the peaks and the valleys of where Bledsoe's standing has been amongst fans has been really you could get whiplash.
Yeah.
Because there were times where he was a sleeper great player, and then there were times where people talked about him as being utterly worthless.
He was bad on the Suns.
Yeah.
We always talk about, we remember him.
He was bad after the first big pop with the Bucks, he was good.
But when he was on the Clippers as a backup, he was that
defensive stopper.
Yeah, he crushed people. Yeah, he Mike Conley couldn't bring the ball up the court against him in the playoffs. He was such a good defender, and then he just lost it. He got beaten down in Phoenix, which is wont to happen for those in Phoenix. James Jones, I know, is going to be the latest casualty. It seems like the Suns looking to find an ounce of respectability, looking to hire a president of basketball operations. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Oh. What am I doing?
Oh, no, Chuck, I was wondering, did you have an apology?
Yeah, I did. I don't know if you guys remember, but I've been off a couple episodes. The last time I was here with you guys, I completely freaked out about Wayne Ellington, who has just played like garbage.
Beef Wellington, we've decided.
Beef Wellington. I'd have no reason. The Pistons did.
Chuck his team beats one Warriors team, and everything's fine.
You didn't let me go. We got the brakes beat off us by the Pistons, but Wayne had basically no effect on the game. He had 9 points or something.
Well,
didn't go off.
I
don't know.
But I'm confused because the Pistons are playing great.
They are.
They're I think they're 8-2 in their last 10. They are well up on your Miami Heat, who you were worried Wayne would help their team.
I would, and it seems, I don't know. Maybe they are better with him on the court or something. What is his on-off numbers?
I'm checking it right now.
Oh,
they're probably. I assume they're great because he's been playing. He's still hitting his 3-pointers.
Chuck,
he's hitting 2 to 3 per game. I know.
Since Wayne Ellington has joined the Pistons.
right. They're good.
Their points per game.
Chuck, Wayne Ellington is awesome.
I think
you need to apologize
their
for
offensive
this
rating
apology
is 119.
Offensive rating is 119 with him on. Okay, well then I
dude has not had a game where he hasn't hit at least 3-3-pointers in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't actually.
You must have looked at it as one bad game where he went 0 for 7 from 3.
Yeah. So maybe you were right, Chuck.
Okay,
after all. Maybe sending Wayne Ellington to a team you're chasing in the playoff runs, bad idea.
Or maybe this apology was really a way to make me look smart.
Oh, that's right. Chuck had it all along.
There it is.
My apology. A couple things I was thinking about. I almost want to apologize to Jim Boylan because the Bulls are a juggernaut.
They are. Moylan, Jim Boylan?
I'm going to apologize to
getting weird
the Rookie of the Year chase.
Circumcisions.
We, like all other white people, we anointed Luka Doncic Rookie of the Year.
Already.
Trae Young's making a run for it.
Man, he's coming back-to-back 35-point games.
By the way, what are we going to do about the 2 best moves in the NBA being 2 different step backs from 2 different rookies?
Right. Unstoppable.
Trae Young is the first rookie since Allen Iverson to have consecutive 35-point games. He scored 36 in back-to-back games.
Yeah.
Over his last 5 games, he's averaging 30 points per game and 9.2 assists. He's hitting over 50% of his 3-pointers in this stretch. For the entire month of February,
on fire.
He's averaging 22 and 9, and the Hawks are respectable. I think the Hawks are 5 and 7. This is a Hawks team. I know, like I mentioned in the Patreon only over/under update. You guys were thinking single digits, maybe. I mean, in the teens, maybe single dig. On
that
the wins.
thing was torture to listen to.
Yeah,
it was a
and I'm not
bloodbath.
just talking about my voice.
Sanguine. And he's been doing all of this while looking like Bubbles from The Wire.
Yeah, man, he's got that weird Landry Shamet hair, but it's like a little more wiry.
Dude, Landry Shamet and Trae Young are the same person.
And I have said this consistently since I saw Trae Young. Never cut your hair.
No.
Let it go your entire career.
He may not have ever cut it in his life. It still looks like baby hair.
So I was really blown away with him averaging 22 and 9.
And it's good for the NBA. I have friends who are Hawks fans. We have a proximity to Atlanta. It was sad when they traded, basically swapped Luka for Trae. I thought that was a bad mistake early in the season, and now, that could be my apology because Trae Young, I was wrong.
Now our boy Jaren Jackson Jr. might not even make all rookie first team. There might be Trae Young's jumped him.
Jaren Jackson Jr., as it turned out, was drafted properly.
Properly.
Right.
But anyway, so going back to the guys averaging 22 and 9 in February, there are actually only 9 NBA players in the month of February who averaged at least 22 points per game and either 9 assists or rebounds. What's that song?
Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage.
Game of Scones.
Oh, man.
Inside the apologies Game of Scones, we're incepting. Like I said,
Sconeception.
The drain will never stop spinning.
There are only 9 players, including Trae Young, who are averaging at least 22 points per game in the month of February and at least 9 rebounds or points. Rebounds or assists.
Right.
So your job is to name the 8 players, guess the 8 players who are averaging at least 22 and 9 in the month of February.
I'll go first.
Will you?
All right, Chuck will go first.
Karl Anthony Towns.
That was going to be my guess. That's correct.
Karl Anthony Towns is averaging 29.5 points and 13.4 rebounds per game. That is correct.
I hate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the worst when you take it right out of the brain like that. Now it's like I wasn't playing. I'll stay on the... Also, Chuck's just saying that because we talked about him extensively on Food Court.
Oh, nice.
A movie podcast we'll be featuring later this week.
Yes.
I'll do Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons is incorrect.
What? Oh, not enough points?
I don't think he's averaging enough points. He didn't
I thought it was so easy because Joel's been out.
We said 22?
Yeah, 22 points per game.
He must be at 21.
Let me see what the Ben Simmons is. Ben Simmons is not... He's not in the top 50 this month. Sorry.
So it's my go.
Yep.
Terrible.
I'm going to go Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin...
He doesn't get boards no more, Chuck.
You don't?
Is a good guess. Very, very close.
Okay.
But no, Blake Griffin just actually misses the cutoff with only 7.2 rebounds.
I'm not going to get
6
cute
assists.
anymore. I'm doing James Harden. I'm going James Harden.
And then I'm going to do Durant.
All right, so James Harden is incorrect.
What is happening?
James Harden only averages 6 rebounds and 5 assists per game.
Whoa.
So that is 2 strikes for John. Do not go too quickly. You got to average 9 rebounds or 9 assists to go with your scoring.
Okay, well, I've got one for sure.
All right, so Chuck has 1 strike and 1 correct. John has 2 strikes.
Let's go with the Joker, Nikola Jokic.
Nikola Jokic
Stop doing that.
is correct.
That's definitely correct.
Jokic averaging 23.2 points per game and 12.4 rebounds, and also very close at 7.9 assists. Chuck is in a dominating position
Am I going to flame out?
over John. Don't flame out, John.
Am I going to flame out
Don't
with Andre
flame out,
Drummond?
John. You are.
Jesus.
A complete strikeout from John.
whiff.
Andre Drummond, so close, averaging 21 points per game to go with his 16
Give me this list. I'm interested.
rebounds per game. Chuck, you want to keep going? Win with style?
Swiper.
Let's do...
Swipe at a fox.
These are
Yeah.
spoiler, real good players.
Real good players. Giannis.
Giannis
Jesus.
Antetokounmpo, averaging 30.6 points per game and 12.6 rebounds per game in February.
I guess Paul George, he's been having that crazy
that
run.
is
Paul
saying
George.
no. Another strike. for
Russ?
John.
Really?
So many strikes. Russell Westbrook. Thank you, Chuck. Chuck's
I
up
can't
5
play.
to
I
0.
can't play this game. I can't play this game.
The other ones you didn't say. Joel Embiid.
Yeah, that was
for the
my
month,
next one.
27 and 14.
Okay, that feels like cheating.
Yeah.
That feels like cheating because he's been hurt.
In what way?
Well, yeah,
He's
been
played
hurt.
6 games.
I
did not give you a cutoff. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that feels
No
like
minutes
cheating.
played.
There's no minutes. I mean, there's no one else under here. I guess. Yeah. I feel that's fine.
You still didn't guess
The man who guessed
I literally
correct.
I literally guessed Ben Simmons because Joel
could've-
Embiid's been out.
Lauri Markkanen, who is carrying
yeah.
me to a fantasy championship,
Yeah.
he's averaging 26 and 12 in the month of February.
Wow.
LeBron James is averaging 25.5 points per game, 9.6 rebounds, 10.6 assists, which is really
Was
awesome
De'Aaron
numbers.
Fox anywhere close to this list?
I don't know. Those are the answers. So it's Giannis,
I'm
Karl Anthony
completely out
Towns,
of
Joel
touch.
Embiid, Lauri Markkanen. Congratulations, Chuck, on
Hey.
a dominating victory. And I guess those were our breakfast in bed apologies all wrapped in that.
We had a game of scones where it was just, we're just joking. That's a turn of phrase that we've invented because we thought it was a funny pun. Now we're going to have a literal game of scones.
What is this?
What we got?
It's a game of scones involving cookies.
Actual scones.
Scones.
Oh.
A listener, Michael, I don't know your last name.
The Thunder fan?
I believe so.
I hate to throw a wrench in the gimmick, but I think the British would call those biscuits.
I think you're right. But he sent us a box of each of the Girl Scout cookies because we talked about having a taste test.
Right, on air.
And this is a definitive on-air taste test where Keith and Chuck, I can't because of my hilarious lifestyle, participate.
Stupid man.
We're going to decide once and for all what is the best Girl Scout cookie. We're going to start with the tag-alongs.
This doesn't seem like a
This is great audio content.
Yeah.
Which my girlfriend has already gotten into.
Also, how are we going to make a definitive decision if two people are voting?
Hopefully you can come to a consensus.
The tag-along is the chocolate-covered peanut butter cookie. That's delicious.
I crushed a whole box of Do-si-dos for dinner one night. And those are the peanut butter ones with the it's like a peanut butter sandwich without chocolate.
If they're not involved in this taste test, they don't exist anymore.
Y'all should mess with Do-si-dos. Oh.
I'm going to pass this phone to John.
Yeah, you should.
Here you go. Samoas are happening.
The Samoa.
I'm already done with it.
So the Samoa is the coconut flavored with some chocolate
They're
stripe.
both so good.
Who's in the lead?
The aftertaste of the...
Not everything has to be a competition,
Was this
John.
a tag-along, would you call this?
This is a literal competition.
Not
What are
have to
these?
be.
Well,
those
I've
are the
never
lemon
heard of
things.
this.
there's lemon things I love.
What are they called?
Savannah Smiles?
Savannah Smiles.
What?
That's like a stripper name?
Yeah. That sounds
apology
like,
to
that
any
sounds like
Savannah's
somebody,
listening.
That sounds like somebody Michael Cohen paid off.
Maybe Michael Cohen sent these to us.
Wow.
Savannah Smiles are in the lead
that's
for
a
me.
heck of a response from
Savannah
Chuck.
Smiles are in the lead.
Do we have a clubhouse leader?
You know, novelty though has something to play because
That
that's
is
new.
true. That is
I've
true.
never.
I don't even need...
I refuse to eat a Thin Mint.
I'm going to, for our
it
Patreon
outta
only
here.
feed, I'm going to eat all these Thin Mints right after the
You
show
don't
is
like
over.
Thin Mints?
I don't like Thin Mints, and those are the Do-si-dos. The ones I'm telling you about. These things crush. Y'all should have one. You should break your keto for this, John.
No.
They're really good. If you like peanut butter, this is the best one because it's like pure peanut butter and then peanut butter cookie on top. So it's like double peanut butter.
I also kind of have to be recused because I love Thin Mints more than any other cookie.
We also need to end this segment.
All right.
As it's an audio format.
You just describe what you're eating. That's what you do.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I
really
just did.
not as hard as
Two
you're
peanut
making
butter
it out to
cookies.
be.
Two peanut butter cookies sandwiched in between a thin layer of peanut butter. It's amazing.
I'm more worried about the eating noises going into people's headphones.
ASMR is huge.
Surprised. People are going to re-download this.
So, ranking...
Can the Savannah Smiles, the Brooke Lopez of Girl Scout cookies, come roaring?
I would say
That's more
last...
Trae Young if we're going to go with the
I would say
Atlanta
last
connection.
place is the tag-along.
Yeah.
I thought the peanut butter is too much peanut butter.
This is the perfect amount of peanut
The
butter.
peanut butter cookie, the Do-si-dos, are actually delicious. Kind of like a Nutter Butter.
Right.
Good stuff.
Nutter butter.
I like Savannah Smiles Thin Mints. I'm going to eat... Actually, Patreon only. We'll see how many I can eat.
You should do
I
it.
think I can eat every one of these boxes.
You should be able to.
Absolutely you
Easy.
can.
Yeah,
I
that's-
ate a whole box of Do-si-dos. the other night.
Well, speaking of Patreon, before we move to our steak and eggs best
Chuck,
thing...
who's your winner?
sorry.
I love the Savannah Smiles. They were new and they made me say, make
I
a
think
noise.
we are going to anoint, controversially, Savannah Smiles.
Upset winner.
Shout out.
Girl
Upset winner.
Scout Cookie of the Year. Once again, the most hipster podcast there ever were. It's
Just
us.
the lemon powdered sugar was so refreshing. And
It was a
burst of a refreshment
because
against
with all
these
that
other
chocolate and then you cut that with the lemon, it was great.
cookies. I'm going to
It
be
was
so
like
thirsty for the next 40 minutes of this show.
I'm going to chew some ice
and
now.
Keith, because we love you. These cookies are staying here, buddy.
Can't no, I'm not even joking. I will eat every single one. And I will put on some Tony Allen highlights. We'll do it. I'm gonna do a Tony Allen Power Hour. and I'm going to hit every one of these cookies.
All right, that concludes our first actual real game of scones.
Yeah, there we are. That's great. So before we get to our steak and eggs, we do have a few listener-submitted questions from our Patreon supporters. The Croissant Questionnaire.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
Knock yourself out.
That croissant. Finish that croissant. That croissant.
Feeling Minnesota asks,
That croissant.
is it fair to restore the narrative that LeBron's career and legacy would look a lot, that's in capitals letters, a lot different for the worse if he hadn't spent 15 years in the podunk Eastern Conference? This is obviously LeBron James, who's going to miss the playoffs in his first try in the Western.
Who knows? They're right there.
It gave me pause. The
I do
question
not-
gave me pause.
Yeah. Oh, here's where my favorite what if scenario with LeBron in regards to his legacy is: what if Draymond never gets that weird flagrant 2 that gets him kicked
that's
out
the
of,
big one. Yeah.
That's the big one. So if he doesn't do that, if that doesn't happen, and he plays up, maybe they don't, beat the Warriors that weird one time, and then his whole legacy's tarnished because then he can't win without Wade or Riley,
Right.
and none of that stuff matters.
So Chuck said no and then gave me the best argument for yes.
Yeah.
No, I think, well, that's all these narratives are so dependent on just the
Randomness?
occurrences.
Right.
If Kobe Bryant never got Pau Gasol,
Right.
he wins 2 titles. Mm-hmm. He wins 2 titles, and he won them both with Shaq.
See you later,
But
bye.
he's got 5 titles.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, the same thing with LeBron James. When we look at these All-Stars, I think it makes a huge difference in the way we think about and glorify LeBron James.
How we build a narrative
Based
for their
on
legacy.
the 8 straight finals.
Yeah.
And it's all about being in the Eastern Conference.
Right.
I mean, it really is. Mm-hmm. But that's also the thing where you have guys like, you have the Joe Johnson, was 8-time All-Star?
Right.
Come on now.
Don't do that to me. Joe Johnson drove me from a franchise.
Like Joe Johnson would have been a 2-time All-Star.
Yeah,
He's in
if
the
he
Western
stayed in
Conference.
Phoenix or something.
That is very interesting.
Which
Keith.
is why Mike Conley, do it, brother. Force yourself to the East.
Yeah.
Someone's got to go East.
Somebody should. Kawhi did, and look how that's is
Dominating.
Although
he wants to go west.
Kawhi almost won MVP in the West.
No, that's true.
He did.
But his team.
I'm going to
success is
say
insane.
yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting here replaying everything in my mind.
What kind of hit does LeBron's legacy take for missing the playoffs?
Huge.
I mean, there's like an 80% chance.
He'll just say he hurt himself. Like
I mean, he's going to say he's hurt. He needs to shut it down sooner.
It's
than
going to
later.
happen.
Nah,
If
nobody's going to buy it. He keeps tweeting about his triple doubles.
Here's my counter to what you're saying.
Yep.
Is that the power accumulation in the West occurred because of LeBron's greatness in the East. Jordan,
I don't think we know that. That's an interesting theory.
Jordan never really had any competition in the East, and all of the stars were in the Western Conference.
I mean, the Pacers and Knicks were awesome.
Well,
Knicks
Reggie
were
Miller
really
was the
good.
only player ever close to beating Jordan in those 6-year final runs. That was
I mean, the
the
Knicks,
only team.
the Charles Smith year,
Yeah.
the layups,
The Knicks
they were up
team-
2-0, right? The
Yeah.
Knicks
Yeah.
team?
But like, I don't know. It seemed like all of the
They had
talent.
to get through the Pistons.
Charles
and the
Barkley
yeah.
left the East to go to the West.
But also,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
every time we'd never do like the who's the greatest of all time arguments because I don't find
They're
them interesting.
impossible.
They're impossible.
They're impossible.
Also, one of the big reasons it's impossible is
And it's George
all of
Mikan.
us. I assume all of us combined.
The Big Dipper.
All of us,
Koozie.
the 3 of us combined, probably watched Michael Jordan play the same number of games we get to see LeBron James play in one season.
Easily.
Because we now get to watch every NBA game.
Right.
I only saw LeBron James playoff games and some Sunday afternoon games. And as a child or as a teenager, my thought was he's going to win no matter what.
Right.
Once he gets to the playoffs, he's going to win no matter what. I remember when he came back from baseball being stunned they lost to the Magic.
Right.
Like they couldn't beat the Magic in the playoffs. It was so weird.
Right.
But then, of course, he then corrected that memory for the next 3 years by winning 3 straight titles. So I was like, oh yeah, this guy. No
Well,
one can beat him.
he had to play himself back into shape. You know, he can come
Right,
back and just
right.
like that's literally what he did. He came in halfway through the year and played himself back. Yeah, the legacy stuff's great. I love the discussions, but really, it's all the roll of the dice, and a lot has to do with weird happenstance circumstances where Steve the Phoenix Suns and the Spurs that year where they had that fight.
Yeah.
And half the team gets suspended. What happens then?
Boy, that sucked.
Like now we've got, you could play that all,
You can.
if Kyrie didn't get hurt in the first game.
But this is different because if LeBron misses the playoffs this year, there isn't an incident we can point to other than LeBron got to pick his own team and got to be GM.
Right.
I mean, didn't the Michael Jordan Wizards make the playoffs both years? He
Correct.
Was playing?
Yeah. But again, that was in the East.
Was in the East. If Derrick Rose was in the West, he would have never won MVP. I'm
Right.
serious.
No,
you think
no.
Joakim Noah would have got all those awards if he was in the Western Conference? Bulls don't win 62 games.
The answer to his
say?
question is yes.
All right.
Yes.
Um,
An affirmative.
Young Hueva asks,
Huevecito.
provided Kevin Durant leaves in free agency, are the Warriors still the favorites to win it all next year? I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with player movement, but
Yeah.
I guess we could.
I would say yes.
We could try to guess
Because
what could happen.
Katie's going to the Knicks, so yes.
Yeah,
I think Katie's following LeBron's model of go to a hapless franchise with no direction in the front office. You can dictate player movement and then blame the front office when everything goes wrong. Or the coach.
I don't think that was LeBron's plan. I think you're giving him too much credit.
No. Without question, the reason I think he left Miami wasn't because he wanted to go home and win it for Cleveland. Is because he wanted to be able to dictate who he played with. And he got mad when they cut Mike Miller for salary cap purposes. He thought Mike Miller was the difference in the San Antonio series in 2014. That kind of stuff led him to go to Cleveland so he could steer the ship, which led it directly into the dirt when all of his Tristan Thompsons and crappy moves that he made as faux GM didn't work out. Then he went to L.A., tried to do the same thing, and now you're seeing the same results. Those guys stink because he made all those decisions.
would the original Warriors core, assuming Durant leaves, not original, sorry, Festus Ezeli and Harrison Barnes, but would they be favored
I think so.
over maybe the Nuggets if LeBron James trades himself to Denver for Gary Harris and Michael
Jamal
Porter
Murray.
Jr.?
Yeah.
No, you got to keep Michael. You got to keep Jamal Murray.
Gotta keep Jamal Murray.
I mean, maybe there's some player movement that could do it. Like if the Bucks pick up something.
Bucks are like the only. I don't
awesome.
think so. I think
If
they'd still
Anthony
be there.
Davis joins LeBron James
Right.
and the young core.
They've got DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, he's not going to join him next year.
The weirdest
and
thing,
the young core.
I love dunking on the young core of the Lakers as much as anybody.
They're fun to dunk.
Kuzma and Ingram have been good.
They've been really good.
Which is why LeBron's comments have been insane.
Yeah, they really.
Insane.
This can be very much
All right,
lead right into my
last
worst.
question.
They'll
This
score
is,
like combined for 60 points, and LeBron will be like, I don't know what those kids are playing for.
They're both shooting over 50% for the month of February.
I mean,
That's,
what is LeBron
Kuzma
talking
and
about?
Ingram. Anyway, Mike, not Michael of the Girl Scout cookies, Mike Friedrich, I believe. This is a banger of a question.
I love bangers.
How
Keith,
would
don't
you
say banger.
How would you recast the Spice Girls using current NBA players?
I assume we're going to disqualify Joakim Noah because he actually was Scary Spice.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one. My first thought:
Okay.
do people listening know who the Spice Girls are? Do people nowadays know who the Spice Girls are?
Come on, man. They were
We're old.
phenomenon.
They were a global phenomenon in 1999.
Here's
Tell me what you want, what you really.
suka.
I like so honestly, Joakim for Scary Spice is really good.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. I was going to go Steven Adams just because he's literally scary.
I like Steven Adams too. It also
bad.
breaks the typecast, maybe.
It does.
Not really.
Well, if we're gonna
Swarthy.
We're probably going to flip the
paradigm?
the racial paradigm.
Only breaks the typecast if you're stupid.
I like Joakim as Scary Spice.
I love that too.
It's runner up Steven Adams.
I think
Yeah.
you could literally take the players that LeBron James surrounded himself with in Los Angeles and do it that way.
Yeah, because Kyle Kuzma looks like he's 15 years old.
Yeah.
Baby Spice.
Baby, yeah, he
Beasley could be Scary Spice.
We could do Baby Spice. I'm going either Luka or Jokic.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I was thinking.
Luka's he's just bright, bubbly.
Boys.
He's got those eyes.
I don't think you can pick players this good as a Spice
no,
Girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
come
don't
on.
get hung up on
They
it.
had a movie made about them. They were
And then
huge.
it's not like Justin Timberland, and there was no breakout
Justin
star.
Timberland.
Justin Timberlake. There's no breakout star. These people disappeared, with the exception of one person who married David Beckham. So we got to figure that out.
I think
That's Posh Spice.
Posh.
Who? Posh Spice?
So, well,
Is
if
that
we're,
Carmelo Anthony?
so if we're gonna go
I
with
think I was thinking baby face, but I'm with you, Chuck. I think it's got to be Jokic or Doncic,
Doncic.
for baby spice.
yeah, I mean, I know we don't want
Doncic
to
because he's younger.
This is only. I mean, this is a group of people that will be thrust upon the world as a pop phenomenon, and I don't think those players
Luka
lack
Doncic,
that,
Rookie of the Year runner up. That's a perfect baby spice.
right? So, but Posh Spice,
So
I
Posh
think
Spice.
we got a couple things, and this is Posh. We're gonna go. What the word Posh is means, fancy pants. LeBron drinking wine all the time and bragging about it like a 50-year-old retired.
Too good. Have to buy into the marrying David Beckham thing. Have to find a corollary outside of the game that
Okay.
they're more famous for.
Easy. Dwayne Wade, because he married somebody you don't think is famous.
That's right.
But the rest of Twitter
So
and the
I
world
think
does.
for me, Posh Spice, I was thinking more of like a Russell Westbrook because he loves the fashion off the
fancy.
court. He's a very fancy guy.
He is.
He's very attractive.
Look like a Ninja Turtle.
19-year-old me
Battletoad.
thought the Posh was the most attractive second place baby.
I can't remember what they look like. I remember Ginger Spice.
Yeah, it's just
Who made porn? That's Ginger Spice.
Ginger Spice.
Draymond.
No, she had Draymond.
Wait, was the redheaded one was that?
Yeah, but we got to go.
Her name was actually Ginger Spice.
Ginger
I was
Spice.
Jerry Holloway.
I was trying to remember what the fifth.
Yeah, Ginger Spice.
So we got Scary,
So we're
Posh.
probably going. I'm going Kevin Herter,
No, it's
For-
two on the nose.
for
It's
Ginger?
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin.
Ah,
Yeah, it works.
that's funny to
So,
me.
so Blake Griffin, Ginger Spice.
Right. And then
Sporty Spice.
Sporty Spice. This is weird, and you're going to have to look this up, but trust me. Aaron Gordon has the same frightening eyes as Sporty Spice. Look it up.
Whoa.
I have it. It's in our group text. I'll put it on our Slack. It's insanity how crazy those eyes are and how
my
they match.
God.
So Aaron Gordon's current.
She kind of got like a Dante Exum thing going on.
She
there.
does. Aaron Gordon's eyes.
Which
in his
Aaron
current-
Gordon is just Super Saiyan Dante Exum. So this all checks out. I was going to do Gordon Hayward as Sporty Spice.
That works too.
Kind of like, walk me through that one. What,
Okay, so Sporty Spice was like the crappiest Spice Girl.
Yeah.
right.
And just kind of a tag along.
Yeah.
Speaking of
That's how I feel. That's how I feel about Gordon Hayward now. He just kind of tagged along. Now he's hanging out with old Coach Brad.
Which one broke up the Spice Girls? Because that one can be Gordon Hayward.
That one could be Kyrie.
was Beckham the Yoko of the Spice Girls?
I don't really. I mean, I feel like the Spice Girls. It just kind of the bubble burst. That's why there was like, wow, what the hey,
Yeah.
and then it was over.
This has been a fantastic exercise, and I love every minute.
I mean,
of it.
none of them remained famous except for the one who married David Beckham.
It's true.
That's impressive.
Well, I think one of them is on like a reality show or something. Like
I want to say they're
Voice or something.
touring
Say
now
again.
with four of them.
Yeah, I'm sure they. Yeah.
Yeah, Victoria don't need no reunion.
right.
She ain't
ceremony.
learning no
almost feel
dance
like-
numbers.
They own a soccer team.
So do we settle on a Posh? Do we agree on a Posh?
I'm going.
I like Chuck's. Chuck's is fine.
Dwayne Wade,
Oh, Dwayne.
Dwayne or LeBron, either way, because they're just the fanciest dudes. As
Who
far
is
as like,
more famous outside of basketball? Tristan Thompson.
oh, that's kind of great.
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson.
But he's
more
kind of
sporty.
But he's more sketchy. He's sketchy
Yeah.
Spice. He's out there.
Posh Spice is pretty sketchy.
He's out
She's
there on-
called Posh Spice, but she's kind of a
What about Chris Posh Spice?
flagrant. That's amazing.
Chris Posh Spice. Oh,
Get out of here.
All right, out of sporty.
Keith just
do we
Keith
agree on
threw
that?
the ball in there and swatted it out into the crowd himself.
I don't know if we agreed on a sporty anyway.
Well, sporty. I said it was Aaron
I
Gordon.
like
It's
Aaron
like
Gordon.
Wade Baldwin. I feel like they have the
What
same
is
build.
it?
They look similar. Anyway, that's good. I think we got it. We covered it.
Kelly Olynyk is Sporty Spice. That's it.
Oh,
No
there
more.
you go. Oh, Kelly Olynyk. Well played. All right, thank you, Mike, for the
I've
question.
now seen Kelly Olynyk as a woman, and I'm flipping out.
It's the only way I've seen him since he came to Miami.
If you want to submit your own questions, like Mike's really good question there, you do that by becoming a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast.
SeatGeek saves you time and saves you money. Two of the more important commodities in our lives these days. They aggregate ticket selling sites together, so you don't have to go to 8 sites and then, I'm going to look at the 9th one now because I'm not quite sure. I was totally that way, of course. And then they also rank every ticket based on value. So you look at the section you want to sit in, find that big green dot, the darker green, the better. You'll start to experience just endorphins when you see that green dot and know that you're getting an awesome deal on the ticket. I used SeatGeek to go to a Bucks Wizards game, got awesome seats there for my fiance and me. So the way to get started with them, download the SeatGeek app and enter that familiar promo code
Fast break.
by using that code to get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. That's promo code
Fast break.
for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Let them know that you came from us.
Fast break. John is an asshole. Fast break.
All right, steak and eggs, best thing. What's the best thing you saw in the last week?
Hey, y'all know about Dwayne Braid?
No.
Yeah, Dwayne got the braids in his hair last night.
I didn't
Just-
see
you
that.
mean
Okay, yeah.
Dwayne Boyd?
Boyd.
Dwayne
Boyd.
Dwayne Boyd. How does he spell
Keep going.
braid?
Yeah, I don't know. I should say Boyd.
No,
B-W-Y.
There's an extra Y in there,
Yeah.
in the wrong spot.
Yeah, my best thing last night was watching the timeless Dwayne Cleophas Wade whoop up the Dubs. He hit that last second weird, almost looked like a travel block. Could have been a 2-pointer, but he picked the pinky toe up. Three-shot.
The beauty of basketball, where he was making the worst plays ever, and it suddenly turned into the greatest play.
Well, Wade hit all of his threes, which is for some reason
He had
is
5
happening
threes
now.
that game.
Is
Is that a career high?
There might be somewhere in there.
I'm gonna check.
Chest pass bank shot. Do you think he called that one?
Of course he did. He that was called up by Spoelstra. It was out of timeout
Just
play.
like they drew it up.
But yeah, they it was a lot of good things. We saw Bam doing some fun defensive work against Kevin Durant. It looked like he had him kind of locked up there for a little bit. And Jason Richardson again having a big game against the Warriors, showing me that he's got
Josh.
Josh. Jeez, did I
It's
get
all
it?
right.
Josh Richardson. I was thinking about the Warriors.
Justin Timberland.
Dwayne Wade's career high in 3-pointers is 6.
6. So
Did
yeah,
it twice. And luckily, I went to Real GM, and the podcast recording did not stop. That's an accomplishment.
Well done.
Fix your dirty pop-up site, Real GM. It's crazy.
yeah. But there's a lot of stuff going on. They're playing Kelly Olynyk, like we talked about with Bam, and that's giving them spacing and a little bit of athleticism.
Don't deep dive into this game. The good thing is the unbelievable shot. A recap of a Hall of or a nightcap, even like the final.
Are we talking about
epilogue.
the big shot we're talking about? The one there, UD shot a 3-pointer and missed probably the
I didn't even
entirety
see
of
that.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen.
I just want to say,
UD played?
Yes, it was.
Oh.
They played like 5 minutes.
UD got
He got some tick, and it was the most awful shot I've ever seen an NBA player.
I'm just saying, this game winner,
Are you sure it was as bad as Dwayne Wade's game winner?
no, because it went in.
probably the craziest game winner of the season.
Yeah,
Right.
And to have it be a guy on his retirement tour,
Right.
a Hall of Famer on his retirement tour, to beat the Warriors, that's incredible.
on a
Who
day
has
when-
those braids like a 12-year-old girl in Cancun?
I didn't even know he had braids until you
Yeah.
texted me.
Yeah,
Like, I tweeted the video. I
They're
watched
very
the game.
skull-tight
But like, I
braids.
couldn't
Man.
tell on my
From
TV.
a
I
distance.
didn't notice that it was.
Yeah,
that
the fur. He's going
was
through his
braided out.
that would even solidify him more as a posh spice because he's now doing fancy things with his hair.
It reminded
right.
me
You were right.
of.
You were right
It
all
reminded
along.
me of that game winner. He had a game winner before, maybe 5-6 years ago,
Yeah.
where he steals maybe an inbounds pass and hits like a 30-footer off off the glass. Same thing, and he hits that one, and then he just runs over to the table and like,
Jumps up.
That was one of my favorite plays ever in the NBA.
Yeah.
Just that one.
It's
And
kind
this
of-
was very similar. This one was more buffoonery or. More,
Oh no, it was like a blooper reel.
It was a
kind of
blooper
thing.
reel, but it was awesome.
It don't matter.
This
Went
one
in.
was, someone tweeted out, this one was very similar to the Devin Harris one from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. yeah.
Iggy was also on the court.
Oh, yeah. Well, my best.
Iggy's
thing,
seen some stuff.
My best thing is Nikola Jokic, who's again
God,
having a great season.
defending children.
He is, leading the Nuggets, who are right on the heels. Are they ahead of the Warriors right now? They might be actually.
No, they're not.
No.
They're a half game behind the Warriors as we record on Thursday afternoon. Anyway, after one of his recent victories, they were asked about the MVP race and how people were chanting for MVP for him. And he said, he's not allowed to say that, Jim. Jokic said, I think there's a better player than me that's going to win MVP.
Good for him.
I'm just trying to play really good team basketball. I just like that. I liked it. He said, someone better than me is going to win
He
MVP.
was going to say Giannis Antetokounmpo, but he couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah, it probably can get those vowels out.
And I know we talk about all the MVP stuff. Like, I guess the Harden MVP, that's over, right?
Yes.
Like, it had its moment.
That was a fun run,
It
right?
was a fun run.
Yeah, because that streak ends, and then all of a sudden
I
nobody
was
cares.
banging that drum, and even I have just thrown the stick away.
So in the month, just again, I was looking at these month of February stats for the Trae Young, Game of Scones earlier, but just comparing Harden and Westbrook. Westbrook, who's not going to make a top 5 in the MVP race.
No.
In February, Harden played 10 games. The Rockets are 6-4. He averaged 35.6 points per game, which is a ton, but 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He's shooting 44% and 34% from 3. Russell Westbrook also played 10 games. Thunder are 6-4. He's averaging 26 points per game, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists on 46% shooting, and he's shooting 0.8% worse from 3.
Huh.
So, Russell Westbrook has
Surprising.
way better numbers than James Harden in the last month.
Yeah.
But it's all narrative. It's all whatever make the sports writers makes
Everyone
up a narrative.
There's been a Paul George surge? Or
I think the Paul George surge is legit.
Well, if you look at Paul George's number during his amazing hot streak, not as good as Giannis's numbers during the same time.
Right. Yeah. Paul George is averaging 34 points per game.
Now we'll go back to that
In the month of February.
West-East argument, but I don't know. I think Giannis shows on the court that he's the most dominant thing in the league right now.
Right.
And we should,
You see that picture of Corey Brewer?
The universe. Oh my goodness, that Corey Brewer.
That's pretty dominant.
Corey Brewer making a business decision.
He said, "I want nothing to do with that at all." And I think he was eyeballing a lady in the
Corey
second
Brewer
row.
is a legend. Guys. Did y'all see his first game back where he hit at least 4 threes?
I love the goggles.
I didn't even know he did that. I saw he had
his
it.
first game back.
He didn't even play for the Kings for his first 10-day. They had him, and he never even got in the game.
I wonder if him and Noah have some bet to see who can just have the end of their career be the most insane, because they're both in weird situations.
Noah going off on the Lakers was hysterical.
I like how everyone is like Noah's one of the great stories of the season. One of the wonderfully weird things for the Grizzlies, guys.
No, dude.
Looter in a riot.
Yeah, look at
The Grizzlies are terrible.
Avery Bradley's putting up highlight plays. That's wrong.
I got in a half argument. It wasn't a full. Like I do. I don't actually care. I don't have full arguments. If you feel passionate about it, that's fine. I don't. Yeah. With Anthony Sane from the Outsiders podcast, where he was like, all these people were trash, and then Noah's signing, but it's been a great signing. And I just wanted to point out, under what measure are we saying great signing?
Right.
I was like, the Grizzlies are 11-29 since they got him.
The theory of relativity.
I'm not saying it's the backup center's fault the Grizzlies are terrible, but
it's the backup center's
we
fault.
mainly said, why does this team need a backup center? They're and then they were terrible after they signed him. So if he's good for the locker room, I don't get it.
I just want to paint you guys a picture. Keith is giving this.
I'm trying not to eat the cookie.
He's like a dictator, and in his fingers, he's got a Thin Mint, and he's holding it like Bill Clinton.
Dude, he's crushed it. He's broken it.
He's broken it into 2 pieces. He's holding it with such his knuckles are white.
I'm trying with all my power not to put things in my mouth.
Is your wedding ring Thin Mint colored? That is a huge wedding ring.
It's a big one. When I got the wedding ring, they were like, "Oh, your fingers will swell as you age."
Mm-hmm.
Never have. It's still enormous. It's always been enormous.
Loosey-goosey.
I'm also skinny, so
is that just for wrapping on things?
I have
chamber doors and the like.
I have large knuckles, skinny fingers. So there's to get it over the knuckle though, it had to be a certain. This is not good.
When I was married, I just used my wedding ring for to open beer bottles.
So what did you?
It was a fulcrum.
When your marriage dissolves like ashes in your mouth, what do you do with the wedding ring?
I think I threw it into the Cumberland River.
That is awesome.
Into Mordor?
I did. Yeah, I think I did. I'm not sure, but I think I threw it into the river.
Yours is a prequel to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, probably.
You threw it into the river?
I did.
John, did you? What's your best? Did you have a best?
So I've decided. So I have most of my life defended the Lakers Celtics rivalry as a good thing. The fandoms are so irritating this year that I'm just all in on their mutual destruction and enjoying. I've joined the rest of.
So you're loving it.
Yeah, and it's just awesome.
What a great week.
Yeah,
what a great week.
Celtics can't win. They've lost 4 in a row, I think. Maybe it's 5 now. Lakers, the Lakers stuff is hysterical. I was stunned they beat the Pelicans. Stunned.
They lost 4 in a row, but they won 6 in a row before that.
And I just decided to I'm just going to be you know what? These teams in my mindscape won't exist for once in my life. And I'll just enjoy this.
I think I think the news of the demise of the Boston Celtics is a bit premature.
Sure.
No, they're going to be good.
They're going to be
They're
good.
gonna be fine.
By the time the playoffs come, they're going to get into
But
shape.
let me enjoy their actual
But also,
team unraveling.
Yeah,
behind
maybe
the
they
scenes.
won't.
Maybe they won't. And all these things happen until they don't. So I don't know. LeBron's been in the playoffs, and then 1 year he won't be. If
Yeah.
it's this year, cool. But I don't know.
Every year Shaq played himself into shape until he didn't.
until he was
Until he played himself into the shape of a basketball.
until he was in Boston.
It has to end,
Yeah,
I
but-
didn't see this coming on either side, and it's
No.
so shocking. And now I'm just going to lean into this kid and enjoy it.
I had Boston winning 60 games. I thought they were going to be an incredible juggernaut.
That's 11 less than Bill Simmons had them winning.
Right. So I believe the hype train. I believed it all, and they probably did too, which led to a little bit of the infighting and things that we've seen on the sidelines with, Jaylen Brown getting pushed by one of the Morai twins. And yeah, it's a fun thing to see from like an interpersonal standpoint. Kyrie testing the waters and apologizing to LeBron.
Why does Kyrie talk about leadership constantly while doing the weirdest non-leadership things you could do?
I have a more important question.
Let's do it.
When did Marcus Morris put a senior on his jersey?
I know. Is his son in the league?
I didn't even know. I didn't know he had a son.
Essentially.
Is he allowed to have a son? Does Markieff have a son?
Right. Did
they both impregnate the same woman?
Man,
Is that wrong to suggest out loud?
Because they have every
Whoa.
tattoo is the same.
Every tattoo's the same. They share a bank account.
just-
They
Blinking.
both beat up a guy that talks to their mom.
Yep.
That's what you do.
They were playing the Thunder. So Thunder Celtics were on just the other day.
Yeah.
And again, it was one of those. Markieff just joined the Thunder.
Yeah, he's what is he on his 400 team? I'm not sure which one's which at this
Pat
point.
Patterson signing I've
Somehow
always dreamed
Marcus
of.
Morris got to be way better.
Yeah, I don't know how.
But anyway, yeah, I guess he's got the senior on the back of his jersey. Let's do the opposite.
Maybe that's what the senior really means, is I'm the older twin, damn it.
He came out of the
Could be.
womb first.
Yeah.
Opposite of steak and eggs is cream of wheat. Worst of week. What's the worst thing you saw?
I don't know. We were talking about it earlier, but there's been a highlight reel of LeBron's defensive urgency post him being vocal about the lack of sense of urgency from the youth in LA. Just piggybacks on what we were talking
LeBron
about.
likes to chill under the basket in that restricted area.
I do like to do a Fortnite dance on LeBron's not yet cold corpse.
Which Fortnite dance, and how can I sue you for it?
It's the one that they stole from Scrubs that Donald Faison did.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
It is a good one.
The Donald Faison dance is outstanding.
It's a kind of a great dance, and he's an All-Star Game legend. I think he's played in almost the most All-Star games. I could be fact-checked on that.
So but check this out.
Celebrity All-Star
I
games.
judge you. There's 2 reference points for Donald Faison, and one of them is correct. Are you a Scrubs person? Or are you a Clueless person?
First saw him in Clueless as I eat a
That's right.
do-si-do.
Yeah.
Fell in love with him
Because I'm
on
keeping
Scrubs.
it real.
I'm keeping it real.
Because I'm keeping it real.
I keeps it real. But I fell in love with him on Scrubs. I watched every episode of Scrubs. It's a great show.
That's a shocking. Whoa.
I like Scrubs a lot. It's a rough rewatch.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I'm
Scrubs
sure.
is horrible.
Yeah, rough rewatch.
But it does have that McGinley.
Oh, McGinley's the best. And look, Zach Braff played the goofiest dude ever.
Zach Braff sucks. Zach Braff sucks.
But it sucks because he sucks and he was sucky in there.
Real quick, though, John C. McGinley, second on the Carrot Top list of dudes who are secretly jacked out of their minds.
I don't think he's secretly. He's like
He is jacked.
Wasn't he in Predator?
No,
What
dude.
movie was he
He's
in?
in Platoon.
Platoon.
But that's awesome. Can we get the cast of Platoon and Predator? Can we get Predator shooting barns?
I feel like McGinley is in an action movie though. Like
Surviving the game.
why? Yeah.
He's not jacked in that one.
I'm trying to think of another one. Anyway, my worst thing. We don't have the official details yet, but Marvin Bagley was on fire.
That's my worst thing, too. It sucks.
Yeah.
That needs a double worst.
Like
It sucks
he's
so
hurt.
bad.
Yeah, there's no news yet. People are getting optimistic, but he's having his MRI like right now, so we don't know what's going on. But it looked like he hurt his knee pretty bad.
Yes.
This is he's been playing great for the last let's just say month of February. But he's been playing great for a while, and the Kings have a really easy schedule to finish the season.
Yeah, it was
They
gonna-
could actually make the playoffs. They could maybe catch the Spurs or the Clippers. Probably not. But like
The Spurs are in a spiral, though.
Spurs are a little bit of a spiral. They finally caught a game against the Pistons.
Yeah.
Despite Wayne Ellington's best efforts. But, like the Kings are in this race for the playoffs, and Marvin Bagley is one of the big bright spots of it, and him being hurt, I think they can withstand it with moving Harrison Barnes to the 4,
Right.
Getting Bielitsa back going again, but Bagley, who is like a Zebo with talent, like more talent, like Zebo did it with just like grit,
Right.
heart. He gets all his own misses.
Mm-hmm.
He just does a Z-bounce like over the rim,
Yeah.
where Zebo just push people out of the way and let the ball follow him. Like Bagley gets all his rebounds. Like he rebounds all his own shots. I love watching him play, and so I'm pretty sad if he's going to miss a few games and what that might do to keeping the Lakers out of the playoffs.
Just as long,
I'll pivot my worst to something that's been irritating me as of late. But that Bagley injury can't be overshadowed for me. How sad it's made me.
Yeah.
They are so fun. I am tired of people telling me that the Orlando Magic are good. Like, it really irritates me. I know that they will have streaks where they win games they shouldn't, but the Orlando Magic are bad. They lost to the Knicks last night. If you watch them play, they are tough to watch at times for long periods of time. They get carried by certain players, but don't tell me Mo Bamba's going to be good right now. Don't do it to me. Stop saying
Well,
it
they're
to me.
definitely winning because Mo Bamba is not playing.
Right.
Like that's a big part of it. But I mean, you can't hold that Knicks loss against them. The Knicks are 3-1 when John Jenkins plays.
shout out John Jenkins.
Our boy.
Man.
The Knicks and Bulls both winners of 3 of 4.
Fizz loves those
Bulls are
bandy
kinda
guys,
good.
man.
Oh, Fizz is
loves
great.
those.
Fizz played Henry Ellison. I didn't know who he was. I was
Yeah.
watching this game, and Henry Ellison did a pick and roll with somebody. Maybe it was with Mitchell Robinson. He did a pick and roll and then lobbed the ball to Robinson, who
Mitchell
dunks.
Robinson can go get anything.
Robinson is like putting up Olajuwon numbers, but I didn't know who it was. I'm like, who is that?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't know how Henry Ellison got on.
Are you saying
the Knicks.
Henry Ellison?
Is it Ellison?
Is it? I'm trying to figure out if it's the same player.
Ellington?
That's how confused I am.
It's a Duke Ellington.
Henry Ellenson, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
The
I
guy-
thought there was a new guy. I thought it was a new Nick.
The guy drafted by the Pistons, Henry
Okay, gotcha.
Ellenson. Yeah, no, he had like one great game where Fizdale played him for 19 straight minutes.
Hell yeah.
Just-
Dude,
wow.
there's games where like Damian Dotson has like 27 points and like 42 threes.
Oh yeah, it's wild.
It's insane.
The Knicks are crazy, but yeah, no. I think the Magic. You say they're bad.
Right.
Sure,
yeah.
they're
It's
like
not- it's-
they're like
I-
slightly worse than the Nets and the
Dude,
Pistons.
it's not that I'm not upset that the Magic are bad. I'm upset that every other tweet I was reading for a while was like, man, the Magic are pretty
Well, they were winning
good.
games, and
They
again,
still aren't in the playoffs in the East.
I think they were. They're just a half game back of the.
I just don't want to hear it anymore.
they're a
Stop
half game back of the Hornets.
And the Hornets are.
I know, but
The
that's
Hornets
not
are
that's
gonna
a
good.
real spiraling. team.
You can apologize when the Magic make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
I'm not going to apologize
it
when
is-
you're
it
the
is
8th
wild.
seed in the East.
The like the Nets, who again we've been like pumping up kind of all year. I finally jumped on the bandwagon to compliment them. Like the Nets are bad too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're barely 500.
Everybody, it's a bunch of mediocrity above the cream in the East, and that even includes now the Celtics. They've been playing mediocre basketball, and so with the Pacers, while they're good, we don't know what their top end is without Oladipo. The Sixers are going to round out
Sabonis.
into shape, and yeah, so the middle of the East is all the same team pretty much. It's a bunch of players, a bunch of teams without any real stars. And chemistry issues, and depend on injuries and matchups for their night to go well.
So this could be my cream of wheat of the Clippers, the Spurs, the Kings, the Lakers, and the Timberwolves. Only 2 of those teams are going to make the playoffs. Only 2 of the Clippers, Spurs, Kings, Lakers, Timberwolves are going to make the playoffs. Of the Nets, Pistons, Hornets, Magic, Heat, 3 of those teams are going to make the playoffs.
Right.
So that's
But I
not cool.
Yeah, that is right.
That's
Yeah, because
not
there's going to
cool.
be bad teams making it in the East under 500.
There's going to be 3 teams in the East making it who are probably all worse than whatever the 9th and 10th teams are
easily.
in the West. That's not great. Let's move to the awards segment
Yay.
of the program. The International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award, given each week to the worst performance in a box score. We have a few honorable mentions. Dennis Schroeder, 3 for 16. Paul George, 4 for 19. Damian Lillard, 5 for 21. Guys, we have a play-in game.
What?
We have a play-in game.
This is amazing.
Patty Mills against poor man's Patty Mills, Bryn Forbes.
That's cruel.
Patty Mills in a loss to the Knicks was 2 for 14, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, 3 personal fouls. Bryn Forbes the next day in a loss to the Nets was 2 for 14, 6 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, nothing else. So you have Patty Mills, 2 for 14, 8 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, 3 personal fouls. Bryn Forbes, 2 for 14, 6 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, no turnovers, no personal fouls. Maybe try.
Trying matters.
So play it. So who gets in? Who's worse?
I will go with the guy who does not have a Jedi name. I'll go with Patty Mills.
Oh.
First of all, last week missing out on a 420
Sorry,
box
Chuck.
score. But
love kebabs.
the only solace I had for that was Ryan Love Kebab's darling coming back and showing love. So it made
Avocado
sense.
toast eating.
Yeah, I'm going with old Patty Milk.
All right. I
Yeah,
guess
credit card
the
number
personal fouls, I guess, really hurt him in the 2 turnovers. All right. So Patty Mills, he joins 3 other nominees. They are, as they occurred chronologically during the week, Kevin Knox went 3 for 16, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 turnovers, and a
Knox 316 says I just missed the whole rim.
Oh, hell yeah.
well played. Knox 3 for 16, 8 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, no personal fouls. Perhaps try. Dario Saric in a loss to the Hawks. Not a good loss
It's been playing better though.
for the
Dario.
Heat. For the Timberwolves, who are kind of in a playoff race. They'd kind of gotten themselves level with the Lakers
Certainly
again,
are.
and then lost. 1 for 11, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, a turnover, and 2 personal fouls.
There's gonna be a lot of Kevin Knox on this list for
and
years to come.
then
Knocks it till you try it.
the base god
Shout out, base god.
in that exact same game.
No way.
0 for 12. No points. 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 personal fouls.
How many steals for the base god?
No steals.
Nothing.
No blocks.
That's his thing.
How many towel
0 for
waves?
12. No points.
As much as I want to keep doing Steve Austin impressions for Knox 316, that is Base God's award to lose.
Yeah, I don't think we can open this up to the democracy.
No, we're
This is
going-
more of an authoritarian.
Emergency powers for Keith.
Yeah,
Build a wall.
yeah, base god.
Base got it.
Base god.
Dick Cheney, that shiz.
Kent Bazemore, congratulations. You are this week's International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award winner. Also, you're the 51st player in NBA history to go 0 for 12 or worse.
Good for you, buddy.
Only the second one this season. Andrew Wiggins was our other.
Oh, wow.
He's going to get cursed by Base God and Ja Rule.
And once again, no player has ever gone 0 for 12 or worse in a game twice. So just something to watch for.
Hey.
We gotta know.
We love
Keith's going to tuck that away.
I'm so excited to send an alert for that. Anyway, par fadeaway. What things are we looking forward to in the upcoming week or more?
So I have spent a significant amount of time pooping on the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, here's my opportunity to show you that I have love for part of their franchise, probably their most important player, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay. Does he have a new Sherlock Holmes novel coming out?
Which I just found out about is interesting. I'm probably going to read. He writes books about Sherlock's brother.
Mycroft.
Yeah. But
Don't go down this rabbit hole with me.
I know, I won't. I got some stuff for you. Hold up. Kareem is selling all his MVP trophies, all of his memorabilia from his playing days, and he's going to donate it to children, which I want to applaud
Children
tremendously.
need MVP trophies.
Every single one of them needs a new pair of MVP trophies for school. But
Here, child, here are some size 19 sneakers.
But yeah, I recently watched a Kareem documentary, The Minority of One, which tells his life story, and it is an insane life.
Yeah.
The man trained for 4 years with Bruce Lee
You damn right he did.
and did a Game of Death where he played Mantis.
Put a footprint on Bruce Lee's chest.
He crushed Kent Benson's face.
Yeah.
Do you ever seen that punch? Kent Benson hit him with an elbow, and Kareem bends over, and you can just see him size him up. He comes over and drops him like a wet bag of laundry. Broke his hand. He missed 2 months of playing. It was the first game of the season against the Bucks.
Children need more of that too.
And
That's a win for Benson's
well, look,
team.
man, you know,
It's a good trade.
sometimes the bully needs to be put down.
Yeah.
And,
Where I
and-
come from, bullies get bullied.
So yeah, shout out Kareem. We don't talk about him enough. He's one of the greats. And the skyhook is the most beautiful shot I've ever seen outside of Dirk's.
You know what children really don't need?
What?
Fiction written by Kobe Bryant.
He's trying to get a Pulitzer now.
Conversation I had with a terrible man may or may not be my
Al
father. So my dad, this is so effed up, man.
Shout out Hilton.
Insists on calling him Lou Alcindor.
To this day.
Oh, your dad is a bad man.
And I'll be like, Dad, don't do that.
Yeah.
And I'll explain it. We'll go through. I'm like, it's disrespectful to his choice of religion. And my dad will go, yeah, okay, all right, okay. Yeah, I'm still gonna call him Lou.
I was watching a documentary about Chuck Wepner, who was the guy that Rocky was based off of, and in the movie, who's Hellboy?
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman plays his trainer, and he started talking about the fight because he went 15 rounds with Muhammad Ali, and he's like, "I got you booked. That was just off the phone with Don King. I got you booked with Mahatma Ali."
Yeah, that's
and he
right.
said, "It's Muhammad. You got to call Muhammad." I'm not going to call Muhammad.
That's
And
my
that was
dad.
it. And that's
Dad
who
is
I
Ron
see.
Perlman from a Chuck Wepner movie. But he's actually just Fletch. My dad is Fletch from the movie Fletch. And it's a nightmare.
Sham Sharania just tweeted Marvin Bagley only going to be out for 1 to 2 weeks.
Beautiful.
Yay!
All is well in the universe.
I would exchange a high five with Keith right now, but we would mess it up and probably smack each other in the face.
Yeah,
I'd like to watch it.
I'm looking forward to. I guess we have a Grizzlies watch party in 2 weeks.
Jesus.
We're playing the Jazz. Hey,
could we put holograms of us there?
Keith, are you at least having fun at him? Are you getting drunk? Is it
No,
just
man.
bad?
No, I didn't. No,
Nah, man.
no, I was like, I don't even want to. Last one.
That's terrible.
Did Joseph show
The last
up?
one I drove myself. I'm like, I'm not even drinking. I'm gonna have a beer. I'm gonna have a beer so I can drive myself home. I don't want to stick around. I gotta say,
The last one I rigged the
last
contest
one
so
was
that
a-
our saddest, most fervent fan won them all.
Yes.
the last one was the Clippers game. It was 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah, dude.
A regulation game.
That's
No
not
way.
right.
It was like 100 free throws.
Even referee Keith can't defend that one.
No. You know, the Grizzlies, the last time they had a winning record after the All-Star break, like their post-All-Star break record was positive 5 years ago. 5 years ago, John.
Before we started this podcast,
I'm
or the
out,
first
dude.
year?
So
It was the
I'm
first year of our podcast.
Oh yeah, it was.
That's why I'm out. That's why I'm out.
Wow. Remember
Anyway,
remember the good old days of
No, I don't, man.
Okay. I was gonna go, but then there's no reason.
I had a cocaine problem. I don't.
Do we all miss Lionel Hollins?
No,
Prickly Bear, come back.
I also look forward to capturing this evil squirrel. I feel sad that some innocent squirrels have gotten broken up from their families, but I got to secure my border.
Yeah.
Can't be having these
No,
squirrels
man.
coming in.
My parfait away is Chuck. Came on my other podcast. We recorded a turnover crossover. This will be on our feed. You'll get to check it out. He came on my podcast, Food Court, which is a movie podcast. We watch High Flying Bird, the new Steven Soderbergh film about the NBA. That was a lot of fun. And Chuck served me papers for ripping off the food-related podcast.
Oh my
I did.
god!
Right,
It is
yes.
the
So-
same. They stole every segment
in case
we have,
that wasn't clear, John's on another food-themed podcast.
and every single one is a rip-off of every segment that we have. It is horrendous.
It's another one where I can't even eat the food.
No, he bought us Popeyes.
I
Which,
watched Chuck eat Popeyes salivating all over myself.
but yeah, High Flying Bird. It's a good movie. It's about the lockout, a fictional tale set in the 2011 lockout.
So
Cameo appearances by Karl Anthony Towns, Donovan Mitchell, and inexplicably Reggie Jackson.
For some reason, who has two Afro picks in his hair for some reason.
So we'll be dropping that podcast on our feed. So look forward to that sometime this weekend, more than likely. If you want more stuff, we'll put a bonus episode up talking about our over-unders just a couple days ago over at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at Fast Break Break. All right, you guys are the best. Thanks for listening. And remember, breakfast is the most important thing.
Yeah, never apologize for being G&G. Fast break, man. You understand?